Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video talking about the recent announcement that Dragon Ball Z Kai is going to be airing first episode April 6th in Japan 2014, and they're going to be finishing off the Buu saga. Love it. Now that said, even though it is going to be starting in April in Japan, the English dub version from Funimation doesn't sound like it's beginning yet or anything of the sort. It might take a while. It might take a long time for us to get. It might be a year before it gets dubbed over to English, if they even do it at this point. I mean, I think it would be worth it for them to do it. The money's there. I mean, a lot of people were interested to buy the Blu-rays and collections for the original Dragon Ball Kai or Dragon Ball Z Kai, however you want to refer to it. Neither one is really wrong, so to speak. And a lot of people I know picked up those first releases of it all the way up until the end of the Cell saga. So I would think that all of those people that picked it up by this point are going to want to go ahead and pick up the rest of the Buu saga, and I'm sure it would do well in the ratings. I mean, Dragon Ball Z always does well. It's crazy that it's all these years later and they're still producing new sets. They're still producing and releasing new DVDs with different, or new Blu-rays with different cuts and even DVDs. And it's crazy. New video games every year. Now they're going to be finishing up Kai in Japan. It's just amazing how Dragon Ball Z has been able to stand up over so many years. And so many people still love it to the point where they're going to take the time to actually go through the rest of it, clean it up as best they can, remaster it, do all that great stuff, and take out all the filler, shrink it down, and release the rest of it. Now, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Kai. I really like what they've done here. Probably the biggest criticism for most people, not me, but from most people, is that Dragon Ball Z's pacing is too slow. There's too much filler. People will complain. It's pretty much the only complaint. Well, there's a couple, but the one you'll see most of the time on the internet is, we'll see characters power up for an entire episode, like Frieza and Goku. Literally an entire episode of them just talking and just powering up. Vegeta with the Final Flash, for example. The entire episode is just Vegeta's Final Flash. Things like that. A lot of filler and a lot of slowdowns throughout the anime. Personally, for me, I think it builds tension. And when I get ready to watch Dragon Ball Z, I'm not looking to watch one episode. I'm looking to have a few hours, sit down and watch some good old-fashioned DBZ over a few hours. I'm looking to see, Goku and Cell throw down for the first time. Love it. The Frieza battle with Goku. All these legendary battles from Dragon Ball Z. Awesome. But yes, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of episodes. There's a lot of progression throughout the series from the time we meet Goku to the time, the very end. After everything the Z Fighters go through and all the different villains and everything of the sort. And what was it, like over 200 episodes of the original, and Kai is really doing a good job to kind of, condense that as best as possible. Now, the Buu saga, I think the reason why they didn't do it at the beginning, there was some trouble in Japan, wasn't there, with the weather in that around the time when Kai got canceled. They were having the big tsunamis and stuff. If you guys remember, it was nuts. So the weather may have had something to do with it. People just, were worrying about their houses getting blown down or flooded. I mean, they're really not wanting to watch Dragon Ball Z at that time, but it makes sense that they'd come back to it. It makes sense that they'd finish it up, because even though I think most people, the Buu saga for most people is not their favorite, at that point, Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Kai has been out for a long time. You've seen a lot of episodes, and especially when they were airing it originally, people by that point, after those tons and tons of episodes, I think started to lose interest a little bit by the time Buu, came in there. In my opinion, out of our three main Dragon Ball villains, I'm talking about Frieza, Cell, Buu, out of our main three, now there's a lot more than that, but our main three here, right, I think personally Buu is probably the least menacing, the least interesting out of, all of them. He's my least favorite out of those three. I like Frieza and Cell better than Buu. That said, even still, I can't wait to see this because there's so many memorable things that do happen in the Buu saga. I'm talking Super Saiyan 3. I'm talking the World Tournaments, the battle with Vegeta and Goku, Majin Vegeta. You know, all of these different things that occur during the Buu saga. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it in Kai form. Hopefully, they're able to even improve because there's a lot of different art in that. For example, the Goku versus Vegeta part. I remember in particular a lot of the animation and the frames in that had some trouble. It was really fast paced. And in a lot of ways, it didn't look the greatest, in terms of the the animation. So hopefully they can go over it, they can improve it, they can make it even better, and they can shrink it down for our high-speed society nowadays when time is so limited. I do think that it definitely makes sense for them to finish Dragon Ball Kai and to kind of update it to sort of a newer version. If they're not going to totally reanimate the entire thing, I mean, ideally, I'd like to see them do that. I'd like to see them say, screw it, let's just do the story over, but let's reanimate the entire thing with new animation. Okay, that would be awesome. But they're not going to do that. But still, if we can get with Dragon Ball Kai, some of it, if we can get it cleaned up and all these things and all the filler taken out, I am entirely on board for that, and I'm really excited to see it. Now, personally, I mean, if you're going to want to watch it, you're probably going to watch the subbed version online. That's what most people will do. It'll be released, I think, in a weekly format. Don't know if it says here exactly. I'll have to look through it more closely, but basically, I assume they're going to finish the entire rest of it, and I assume it's going to be a lot more condensed because there was some weird episodes in there. I wonder if they're going to go through the Great Saiyaman and all that other stuff that was in there. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna cut out, what they're gonna keep. I mean, that's really all I gotta say. Love Dragon Ball Z, love Dragon Ball Kai, always have, and you can't go wrong. I mean, if some people like Dragon Ball Z, the original, better than Kai, that's fine. I mean, I personally, for the nostalgia, there's a lot of things in Dragon Ball Z that I do like, and I do like to have if you're going to buy a collection, on Blu-ray or something. But even still, I mean, Kai is really cool too, because if you want that more condensed version, it's out there, and finally now they're going to complete it. The big knock against Kai was if you're going to buy it on Blu-ray or whatever versus buying, Dragon Ball Z, you can't get the Buu saga. Well, now finally they're going to do it, and hopefully Funimation will dub it into English for all of us North Americaners, English-speaking people, so we'll see. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Funimation, or not Funimation, but about Dragon Ball Z continuing. When you think we will get an English dub. If we do, I think we do. There's money there. They're going to do it sooner or later, right? And, just what your thoughts are on Dragon Ball Kai all around. Pretty much all I got to say about this one. Call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev. As always, same peace.